What's good, everyone? It's your boy, Young Link Jr. Man, this is special here, baby. Matthew Stafford, he was number one overall pick in 2009 NFL draft for the Detroit Lions. And it was a new era. I was excited. I'm from Detroit, very excited for them. And, I wanted them to very succeed because they went, after going 0-16, one of the first NFL teams to do it, besides them and the Browns, but going 0-16 and they fired Rod Marinelli. I mean, geez, Ornolowski. They didn't really have too many people that can really produce besides Calvin Johnson and everything. He showed up to every single game, played his butt off, man, and they still lost every single game. And so they came up with a new system. And that was like, we're going to bring in this guy from Georgia, man. And not to say Matt Stafford, he been there for 12 years, and he's been breaking records, franchise records, through over 45,109 yards, 282 touchdowns, man. It's freaking stud, really good. But he only had three playoff appearances and a wild card and never won. And you look at that. I was talking to my friend Mike. He's a huge Detroit Lions fan. I was talking to him like, "Hey man, don't you think Matthew Stafford's wasting his time? He's been there for 12 years and haven't won a championship, no Super Bowl, even playing at his Steelers caliber. I mean, they got, like I said, I had King Galladay, they got Zeke Ansah, I had Dom Kinsu at one point. I mean, they were really good. They were actually very efficient with Jim Caldwell. I feel like if they would have kept Caldwell, yeah, they went to the playoffs and lost maybe in the wild card with the Seattle Seahawks. But I think he's been the coach for 2 or 3 years. They've been to the playoffs almost twice, and they were actually performing and very competitive in the NFC North. Because the Green Bay Packers, Green Bay Packers and the Vikings is pretty much only the North, man. And Detroit Lions just had to go against them on Thanksgiving, getting blown out, losing, just going below 500. And I'm looking like, man, they have all this talent and they rebuilding. Like, why are they still struggling? And you got Matthew Stafford, like, he will throw 300-plus yard games. He will have sometimes fourth quarter comebacks, bro. And I look at this like, dang, they still keep falling up short. And when they got rid of him and put him at Patricia, they was on a huge decline. So I knew this was more of a disciplinary problem. We even had Darius Slay. He was calling out Matt Patricia in one of the conference rooms, and saying that, Matt Patricia was actually calling him out and disrespecting him in front of the whole team. So he lost respect for him. And he still played at a high level, but he didn't respect the coach. And I feel like when you have a culture or a lot of players don't respect the coach, it's hard to build up a championship mentality, But at the same time, man, I really, I think it's time for him. I think it's time for him to go to a prospect, team like the Washington football team. He can go to the Patriots. He can go to the Broncos. That'll be interesting. He going to AFC West now. But I mean, teams like this, man, that would be something that or even the Colts, because you got Phillip Rivers that retired. So and I know Jacoby Brissett is good, but they had a season with him. They need a really good, solid franchise quarterback. And don't get me wrong, Matthew Stafford ain't trash, bro. It could be the GM, it could be anything, because he went through people that quit, like Calvin Johnson, man. He left because the way they was treating him, and he was saying it's not the players, it's the GMs, the managers that's actually running this organization, setting us up for failure. And you can argue with that, they not on the field, but at the same time too, I'm looking at this too, I mean, why would you get rid of a coach that was preparing for you guys to win almost every single game, going 11-5, 10-6, the target the season, bringing the culture back into Detroit? Now you got rid of him and bring someone with I guess that came from the Patriots. You think everything was gonna go well, and people thought it was gonna be skin color. But I don't know, man. If they would have kept Jim Caldwell, it would have been a different story. I think at least they would have been to the conference and maybe a Super Bowl appearance, But like I said, man, Detroit Lions have a long history, man. I mean, I know they had Barry Sanders in the 90s and everything, but he agreed, Matthew Stafford agreed to part ways with the organization. And this might be good for his health. And I know his wife loves Michigan, loves the state of Michigan. It's probably had part of the reasons, too. I think he had a little bit of sponsorships, and he didn't want to leave. But I mean, at the same time, man, you gotta go. Sometimes you have to leave. Dom Kinsu, his sister was a manager. It told him to go to Miami one time, go somewhere down south because it was warm. Now he was with the Rams, L.A. Rams. Now he with Tampa Bay, I believe. He with the Tampa, and they may project to go to the Super Bowl. So You may have to go to a different team. It's unfortunate that you were the offensive leading guy in the position here, but if I feel like if you're playing football, man, and you've been on the organization for a decade, you haven't won not one game. I mean, one playoff game, let alone like go to a playoffs consistently. You. It made time to really hang it up or adjust and go to a different system. And I feel like Matthew Stafford has the football IQ to do that. So they also too got the number on 7 overall pick, I believe, in the 2021 draft. So I mean, they still in the good. It's good for them, but at the same time, they gonna have to go. They have to find a franchise quarterback though. So now you got Dan Campbell as the new head coach. You got Anthony Lynn from the LA Chargers head coach. He's now the offensive coordinator, and then I think you got this one guy named Arian. I forgot his last name, but he's the new defensive coordinator. So now you got a new coaching staff. And Stafford's like, yeah, I mean, it's changing the system, changing everything. They're rebuilding. And he talked to the team manager. I was like, yeah, man, I agree with you. It's time for you to go. So they still owe him, I think, the $10 million contract. But he was one time the highest player in the league, highest paid player in the league, man. I mean, getting all this money, man. So he give back to the children, too. I remember it was a video that went viral. I think one Christmas he went to a fan's house and delivered them some presents. So I mean, he was an upstanding guy, but I just feel like for his health and for him to actually be remembered and maybe potentially have a Hall of Fame talks that he has to go to a different team he can rebuild on. Maybe he got like good 3 or 4 years in him and try to win a Super Bowl. Because his numbers is staggering. It's really good, man. I can't deny that he had one of the best numbers in the league, but a lot of people don't give a crap about that. It's like a Phil Rivers don't really care too much of that if you're not winning championships, if you're not going to the conference championships, if you're not going to Super Bowl appearances, So, I mean, that's all that matters. But I think this is good for Matthew Stafford. I pray that he may go to the Colts. I'll go to the Colts because they have a great offensive line. You see what Phillip Rivers can do with that. And, yeah, man. And probably compete in the AFC South. But that's all we have to say, man. You guys tune in, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, please. Tell me what you guys think, my sports fans, what Stafford should go to, man. But I think it's a change in a new era for him if he want to continue to play football. But that's all I really have to say. I'm out. Deuces.